Opening the property subcommittee meeting May 22nd, 2019, 6 p.m. Councilor Zarrett wouldn't be with us today. He said he had some personal issues. So we have before us a couple of items on the agenda. There's no public here to speak, so we don't have to be involved with any of that. So essentially, the issue was the list of items that we had from the mayor and the personnel director to auction or send to auction several items of city property beyond the value of $500, which requires council approval. Let's see, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 9 items on the list. That we added the fire engine to the list because that was in the documentation, but not in the original list. So I added that to the list. We do have the documentation for that. There also was a housekeeping matter of the ambulance material not being documented. And here is the form.
Oh, okay, great.
So I've been able to obtain that in the interim. So there's one item that now is fully documented. I didn't make a copy of it. Save paper. You're welcome.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine. I could.
And then the school department had a sander, which is over at the DPW highway garage. And we didn't have documentation on that. That's here. The mower is actually valued at about $100, so we could take that off the list
Okay.
for requiring our input, less than 100. I had an issue with the ambulance and wanted to be sure that the police department, because I had heard that the police department might be looking for like a small van of some sort to have to store equipment, go various places, kind of mobile, a mobile setting. And maybe they could have coffee in the van as part of, if there was a major incident scene, something that could help to for a variety of purposes. And I suggested this ambulance, and just wanted to be sure. And I talked to the chief, and he had said, we're it's not a high priority, but it is a priority. If the ambulance were in better shape, he thought that there was a significant amount of money to have to invest, so he wasn't
In repairing
this current ambulance,
Right.
the one on our list from 2006. So that being said, we didn't want anything to fall through the cracks. It didn't look like anyone was jumping up and down for these items.
Yeah, I mean, all of them except for the fire department are listed as in poor condition.
Right. Now,
So,
the fire engine, 95, it's not quite big antique value, but
yeah.
any thoughts about any of the items holding us that I could see no reason not to just move forward with this.
Sure. I mean, yeah. If the departments think that these are things that they should surplus, we would
They're all pretty old. They don't sound like they have lots of value to them. And if they did at auction, that would be great. Anyway.
Then presumably we'll get that at auction. But
So it looks like we have the paperwork in order, except for there was one other housekeeping thing. I thought one other thing. The Crown Vic says 2011 on the personnel director's sheet from the police department, and I thought there was a different date on the vehicle.
right over here it says 2011.
Yeah, and
Here it's
here it says.
2011.
And the other one I thought said something, it wasn't the police. This one, there was one date that I thought was different. Well, that is 2011, so that works out great. So I think we have all the dates in order, the right paperwork. I will entertain a motion if you'd like.
Sure. I have not done one of these, so is it like I'll make a motion to approve the
To recommend the approval.
To recommend the approval of these items for surplus auction.
Sounds good. Second, and we're both in favor.
Great.
And 2-0. All right. We can report that to the committee, to the council. The other items, it's too bad Councilor Zarek isn't here. Just what to do with the Easthampton parcels. And I know, I took a look at the map, and I don't know if you remember that map that was given to us?
I do remember it.
It didn't seem very descriptive in terms of where the parcels are on the map, or tell us what department is holding the parcels and what its uses currently are, if any. I thought that might be good for all the councilors to kind of have an idea of where these properties are. I mean, you can look at a list that says map 122 parcel 5.
Yeah, I mean, the city
where
has
is
like
that,
their GIS, parcel GIS thing, and I can jump on there and see stuff. But you do kind of have to like. I've done a little playing around with this where I'll look at a parcel and it has an address, and I'll plug that address in Google Maps and do the world view, so I can zoom in and be like, oh, okay, that looks like it's probably a pump station or something like that.
Right.
I do think that there probably would be some value in. I mean, so this is the thing. Like, that meeting was like a year ago or more, and when we had that conversation, I felt that, like, well, I kind of remember it ending, and I actually went to check this, and because they're doing sort of a migration of videos on Easthampton Media, that video is no longer up.
Oh.
So, or I couldn't find it anyway.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna get with them about that. What I recall that ended with us having sort of a larger, or like a slightly more expanded, like, data request for planning. Is that how you remember that?
Well, I remember that they were going to get back to us about reordering the priority list of parcels, and those which may have some future potential of either disposal or future use for the city. That seemed to be my understanding of that, and we haven't seen that.
Right. So I just maybe we need to. Maybe it would behoove us to have another chat with Jeff, or to reach out. I mean, I understand that those guys are insanely busy, so I don't want to be a pain. But I do think that it would be nice to have some sort of resolution to, if the idea is for us to do an inventory, for us to at least be able to say, well, we looked at all the parcels, and
well, they did give us the the assessor's list, what's owed. There's like 120 something parcels. Right. And we had them, we could sort them as to acreage and as to value and as to location, either by street or by map. But it didn't really give us priority and some thoughts about with the planning department. So I agree, to talk to Jeff, I think, would be very helpful in that regard. And I must say, we do have a small planning department, which is good. But I know it was Councilor Zarek who had introduced this agenda item. It's unfortunate he wasn't able to join us today.
Well, I think maybe just so long ago. Maybe we should go back and sort of clarify what exactly it is we're hoping to receive, and then with that in mind, set another meeting for sometime in the next couple of months, and maybe give it enough time that we can speak to the planning department about whether they can get us some more information. Because I felt like that's where we left off, was being like, this is cool, I need a little bit more information, and then
Mhm.
we never got it. So.
Right.
Does that sound?
That sounds like a good
Yeah.
plan, yep.
Okay. Do you think, I mean, I guess we should circle back and chat with Owen. I don't know if he wants to take the lead on that, since this was his kind of thing, or if you want to do that.
I certainly will do it unless he contacts me to discuss anything in particular about the items.
Okay.
Because I'd like to see that wrapped up. And I think we've met the goal of a basic inventory. It's just how much more do we want? And if we're looking to get a real map with real identification of the parcels, that I think would be a reasonable inventory that something we could in the future look at and say, okay,
Right.
this is not just a list, but it corresponds to locations on a map. The map is clear. It's not just a colored parcel that doesn't tell you what the usage is.
Right.
Even if they were numbered by letter, you could refer to a letter on the spreadsheet.
Right. Yeah.
That would be helpful.
Right.
And then you know kind of an idea of what department. I did make the request, could we get some information for departments, and I know that the assessor was working on it. I think Jeff might be, but he's very busy recently.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'll get back, touch base with him.
Okay. That sounds like a plan.
Anything else?
I don't think so.
Nope, good.
I'll
Move to
motion
adjourn. Second? Concludes.